You know, if you were to ask me as a fitness professional, like what is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard as far as questions that people ask me in the area of nutrition? And I've got to say, hands down, it always comes down to this one very thing, the boogeyman of all macronutrients, and that is carbohydrates. Questions about carbs tends to be like some of the most ridiculous questions I always get as a fitness professional. And that's not to make fun of anyone or anything like that. And really, can I blame you? Because quite honestly, like carbs have been villainized so much in the diet and food industry. And so today I kind of want to have a conversation with you about carbohydrates and exactly why you don't need to fear them. And more importantly, I want to shed a little light about what carbs do in the body, ways that you can manipulate them in order for you to see the results that you want to see, and just really give you a more realistic point of view about this macronutrient so you can better do your nutrition and know how to eat and do things that's going to help you in the long run when it comes to controlling your weight and feeling better and looking good. But before we get into that conversation, first of all, I want to welcome you here to my channel. If you never met me before, my name is Roxy Beckles. Be sure to subscribe right now and hit that bell notification so that way when I release new videos, you absolutely do not miss a thing. Set it to all notifications. And give this video a thumbs up right now if you want to hear me talk more about nutrition and all of that stuff, food, and how you can use it to nourish yourself, nourish your body, and reach your goals at the same time and fix your relationship with food. Also, if you're a woman out there who's ready to take her training and nutrition to the next level and you know that you need some help with that, stick around to the very end, because if that's you, I want to tell you how you and I can get into contact with each other. So enough of this mind dribble, this babble. Let's get into the conversation. So carbs. First of all, guys, the one thing I want you to keep in mind when it comes to carbohydrates is that they are not evil. Carbs are needed by the body. In fact, carbohydrates are like the main source of energy that your body likes to use. So your brain actually runs on glycogen. In the absence of glycogen, which is basically broken down carbohydrates, your body will use fats. So really, I mean, it has its place for bodily function. Carbs are really important sources of energy for those who like to do distance sports, running and sprinting and weight training and all of these things. Carbs are needed to help to even build muscle. But the diet industry has you going crazy, and that is on purpose, because the more you misunderstand what's happening with your body, the more you misunderstand nutrition, the richer somebody becomes. So they come up with all kinds of things, super low carb diets, telling you need to eat no carbs at all, having you fear fruits. I mean, come on, guys. When was the last time you heard someone say, oh my God, I got so fat from eating too many apples? Nobody, right? So the most important thing I want you to think about is that carbs, like anything else, has its place in the diet. That eating rice, bread, pasta, beans, fruits, these are all very healthy sources. And I think a lot of the problems with carbohydrates aren't even in the whole foods sources and selections. It's actually in the highly processed foods that we tend to eat, particularly in the American diet. And that's when you're going to start having issues with carbohydrates, because yes, when you eat carbohydrates that are not filled with fiber and all kinds of other nutrients, it's very easy to eat these empty calories. I mean, think about how easily you can sit back and eat a candy bar or a bag of chips or cookies or something like that. None of these are nutrient dense, and it's so easy to blow through them, thus adding to your waistline because of the extra calories. And along with all of those processed foods are coming extra chemicals, and then you've got extra fats, lots of extra salt. So it's not just the carbs alone that's causing the problem, it's the processed foods. But if you're including foods in your diet that truly gives you a balanced diet, so If you're going to eat rice with some beans and a nice lean protein or some vegetables. If you're going to eat some pasta, eat pasta with a nice serving of some kind of a protein like chicken or shrimp or beef or turkey or fish, whatever. Add some vegetables to that mix, and now you have a really nutritious meal that has some healthy fats, a good amount of protein for satiety, and also your carbs in the form of that pasta and vegetables, all of those high in fiber. So now you also keep your digestive system regular. And also your blood sugar levels won't be spiking like this. You see, when you eat that processed stuff, your blood sugar levels go way up. Insulin has to rush in to clear that all out, and then boom, your insulin levels crashing your blood sugar levels. Or rather, your insulin comes in and crashes the blood sugar levels, and that's why you have that up and down and those highs when you eat processed food. It messes with your body in a really bad way. And those of you who have a bit of insulin resistance, and you start seeing the weight coming on because of the fact that you're not eating healthy. You see, it's not the carbs alone that's causing it. It's not the bread and the whole wheat bread. It's not the high fiber foods. It's not the high fiber rice. It's not the high fiber fruit. It's the crap that you're eating that's causing the problem. So it's the carbs that you should not be eating that's causing the problem, not the good stuff. See, that's the problem. When you start lumping the good stuff with the bad stuff, now you have a phobia. And now you're stuck. Because once you cut that entire food group out, what's left there to eat, right? So it's more important that you understand that eating whole foods, whole grains are perfect in any diet. Now, the amounts of carbohydrates you might need to eat could be well different. Those of you with a super high metabolism who tend to be hard gainers, maybe you're on a thinner side and you can blow through food like crazy. Or if you're a person who's more mesomorphic, you have a lot of muscle on your body, you're athletic, you train and all that stuff, you're gonna need a higher amount of carbohydrates in your diet to support your metabolism and also to help with your training goals and recovery and growth and all that stuff. And if you're someone who has a slower metabolism, maybe you gain weight very easily. Maybe you do gain weight when you eat a considerable amount of carbs, because that can happen, particularly when you're insulin resistant and you are overweight. That can happen. So for you, having a lower amount of carbs on your diet will be much better. And when you add weight training to that mix, it helps to increase insulin sensitivity. And thus your body is able to respond better to the foods that you're getting in, particularly with carbohydrates, and utilize them even smarter. So for you, you might need to eat a lower amount of carbs, but that doesn't mean you need to cut them out completely. Now, I'm doing a series on carb cycling, and I've talked about carb cycling on my website and here on my YouTube channel, which you can check out right here in the circle eye thingy at the top. And what I want you to take away from today's discussion is that carbs have their place. And it is not the place for you to go crazy trying to cut them all out and thinking you're doing yourself something, because the moment you start putting them back into your diet, because you have not learned how to balance it and create healthy habits around eating and portion control and how to use carbs to your advantage, when you start eating them again and you start raising your calories, your habits haven't changed and your body is just going to blow back up again. That weight's gonna come on, and then you're in a cycle, a yo-yo dieting cycle, and we never wanna be there. So I hope that today's discussion was enlightening for you. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about carbs? Do you have fear of carbs? Have you stopped eating them completely? Or are you someone who embraces carbohydrates and tries to eat a balanced diet? What are your thoughts? Post them below, because I'd love to start a discussion about this very topic. Now, if you are a woman out there who is struggling to find her way, honey, you are tired of cutting out every single carbohydrate and not seeing the results that you want, let's put those carbs back in your diet in some way, in some shape, some form. And let's go ahead and also, like I said, you gotta weight train, you gotta work out. Let's go ahead and put together a training program that works for you and work on the mental mind taffy that may be holding you back. I want to talk to you. You see at the bottom here, you'll see my link scrolling by, rockstarfitness.com/claritycall. Put that in your browser, or you can check the circle I thing over here or the description for this video for an instant link to go to that page, fill out an application, and then request a free complimentary appointment to talk to me about your goals, what's holding you back, what we need to get you unstuck. And if I feel like I can help you, then I will. But I'm going to warn you, I only work with women who are very serious about changing their body and changing their life. And you have to come ready to invest the time, the effort, and yes, even the money to get the results that you want. If that's you, let's talk. Now, I know not all of you are able to do coaching right now, and that's fine. You still need help? Come on over to my Patreon. Become a member, rockstarfitness.com/Patreon. Join me there. You'll get access to workouts you can do at home or in the gym, and new ones every single month. You'll also have access to nutrition workshops and masterclasses that tell you how to eat better and to do things a lot smarter. Next thing I'm going to also give you is access to like mindset meditations and journal prompts, things to help you to truly become the high value woman that you know you can be. rockstarfitness.com/Patreon. Go ahead and get started. Subscribe right now, click that bell, thumbs up, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye. Thank you for joining.